Okay, good morning, guys. So what a crazy day yesterday. Midday rally, and then they sold off, and so on, and things happened, and then an overnight rally. So a few things I'll go over today. From my understanding, and obviously Bitcoin. The USA White House had an executive order on crypto. I still gotta read more on it, but crypto ripped on those news. The question is, does it last? Right. But SPX first, let's just go over the charts and then we'll go over our levels. So we'll go over the 1 hour chart first. We had this nice little rip yesterday, right? I think the headlines came in, right? From Ukraine, I believe that they're not going to be part of NATO, I believe. But in the reality of this rally, people think the headline caused the rally. It wasn't the headline. It was actually the put selling that was going on. If you guys read data, right, a lot of covering happened on this one big green candle on SPX in that 1 hour, and then obviously it ran out of fuel. There wasn't much buying going on, and then they sold off the rally right away, right? So people got stuck here. They FOMO'd, right? I hope people did not. I stayed calm because I don't catch rallies just like this. Scalping is different. Obviously, in MSL we scalp all day. This rally happened, and people were still trying to buy some calls here, I think, in the market. And on FinTwit, I look a lot of what people are doing. And there were some people still already calling a huge rally from here. They were buying calls and then probably came down. And maybe they stopped out, I have no idea. But if they held overnight, obviously they might get paid. And a lot of selling pressure that happened. Overall, the structure of this chart is still bearish. Now today we have a nice little gap up. We have a nice little gap up towards 4240, I believe, on SPX, roughly around here in this level. Now, if you were in calls from yesterday, you held some and you bought some, there's a good chance that you might be green on them at the open, all right, if you bought them around the close. But the question is, how long do you want to hold them for? Can we go up from here towards 4,300? Can this gap uphold? That is the main question. I personally don't think so, but at the same time, I'm open-minded, right? I don't choose a direction. I don't pick sides. If the market gets to 4,300, I just know one thing, right? If the market rips, let's say the market does rip, here's what I'm watching for. I'm simply watching the market to go about 48,280 hold, right? And then go towards 4,300 for my short scalp entry. I'm gonna use this gap up to trade. I'm not gonna make any long calls or puts on this. I have some puts for April, which I'm gonna hold, that's fine. And unfortunately some Tesla for next week, which kind of sucks right now. But 4,300 is my short scalp entry on SPX, which I'll be watching. Not 4,280. The reason being not 4,280 because if the market holds, we might not get too much of a big move at 4,280. Maybe they rejected right at 4,280 and we come down, which is fine. I have my positions. I'll hold on to them. But if we get 4,300, for me, it will be a very high conviction trade for a retest of 4,280 again, maybe. Or even if I catch the 10, 15 points, I'll be fine, right? So 4,300 is the first level I'm watching, and above 4,300, if we rip back up after, right? Then the next level that I have on my thing is so 4350 obviously, 4377, and then 4400. And 4400 is I think very big resistance where I think anybody in the market can probably short 4400 SPX if we get there, and we can make a lot of money. And today's rally, if there's a lot of if they want, they can probably take this to 4400 this week, which might happen. It's a complete possibility. They can absolutely there's a lot of volatility in the market. They can absolutely retest this 4400 zone. There's no doubt. All right, they can absolutely test this zone. There's no doubt. A lot of selling has happened here. So let's see what happens here before they drop the next leg down. We had the last 4 red days. Maybe today we hold green. Tomorrow we might also hold green. So let's see what happens. And today's Wednesday, some expiries. So maybe we might have some banner rally today. Who knows, right? So the gap up hold. The question to that is I don't know. I'm just gonna play the levels, take our scalp entries, and that's it. And if at the open we give up right away and we close below the opening price of this, which was 4202. So if we close underneath 4200, basically a close under 4200, right? Be careful if you have any calls or longs. That's all I'm gonna say. If we close under 4200 today, right? That's the opening price of this candle right here. So that will show more weakness at it, and then we're likely headed lower. But for some time, another thing to understand here is if we go here now, right? One thing that's we don't usually always watch oil, but for the last few weeks, obviously we've been watching it, right? Oh, sure. Let me run SPX here, and on this side, I'll just go on oil, and then you can compare with VIX also. Oil right here. If we go here on the daily chart of oil, they are kind of a little toppy pattern. One thing that I do want to say, if I go on the weekly chart of oil, These prices 117, the price that was 117 back in 2018, for example, right? Or maybe if I'll go on the monthly chart, hold on, so we can see it. Okay, now this 217 price on oil, or sorry, 117, this 117 is not the same as it was in 2007 or 8 if you're comparing oil. Why is that not the same? Because of inflation. This pain that we're feeling today on oil at these levels is probably compared to around this level right here of $80 and $70, right? That's something that you guys need to understand. So the pain that the public is feeling here right now is probably comparable to around $70 or $80 oil that we had back in 2007. So this is probably the same as this zone right here. For us to feel this same experience the same pain and same pricing, oil basically has to go above 220-ish. All right, oil has to. The reason I know the reason I'm comparing this with you guys right now, because I was doing some research. I read this, a great person pointed this out, and I'm like, wow, that's true actually. Right? We sometimes just look at the price here, but then we forget that there's inflation added also. To feel the same pain as 2008, if oil is gonna go, it has to hit around 220 bucks, pretty much almost a double. Is that possible? Yes. Is that too extreme? That what Ricky talking about? Well, it's happened in the past. It can happen again. I have no idea. Or maybe this resistance, we mark the top on oil and then we give up the gains here. Market will take that as in a positive. Then S&P obviously will rip for the time being until oil settles, and then the reality will hit again. We'll have some interest rate news or maybe inflation numbers, whatever it may be, right? And then obviously pay attention to gold as well, guys. Gold we've always been looking for a long time. Gold is breaking out on the monthly. On the monthly, it's a huge breakout, so there's a good chance that we stall here for some time. And when gold will stall here for some time, it's common sense. You see, one thing that you guys need to know in this market right now, if you're a trader, every trader, if it's your first time trading or not, gold, oil, VIX, SPX, these 4 things you can correlate, right? If you want to go advanced, then you at the European market see what they're doing, and obviously you can watch the world markets as well, Chinese, India, Japanese. You can correlate with all of them. That's up to you how you put it together. But gold is breaking out. It's at resistance. So gold here, there's no doubt that it might consolidate for a few days, right? So it might hold up these levels for some time while S&P might take a break, right? Because that will be a little bullish for the market. And then if it continues to squeeze more in the coming weeks and months, then obviously we're probably headed lower, right? Nothing goes straight down, nothing goes straight up. So we are gonna get rips and dips across the sector, and that money rotation shift is gonna happen. All right. So just know these things. All right, these are basic things that every trader should understand. Right now they're in play, so you need to look at them, right? Then there will come a time when you might not have to look at gold and oil too much, when the market will be in play, right? I mean, when the prices stabilize. All right, but for now, these are the things that you need to look into and understand these moves that are happening in the market. So that's my little thing on SPX, and then we got BTC, USDT. Let's just go over the chart on this on the weekly. What exactly do we have here? Can you go over ZOM? Can you type in the proper ticker for the ZOM, and because I know there are a few ZOM tickers. Bitcoin, just a very nice trend line hold from here back in 17, right? Right, this was a resistance, and now it's acting as trend line. But this year, Bitcoin, I think the move looks amazing. MACD is about to cross, and crypto's been a little disconnected from the market last few days, right? I mean, if we notice, right? So crypto, I really don't know which direction crypto is headed. I have no idea. I got some of my longs, which I'm just holding Warren Buffett style. Like, I don't care about all this turbulence. I don't care. I have some Bitcoin from $4,000 levels, which I'm still holding. Right now, that I'm just gonna hold. I don't want to day trade it. But this level right here, I think if we can take out this zone and we can go over 44K, 44 will be the key level. If we hold above 44K, there could be a possibility of a bull case on crypto. And then don't forget the weekly 50 MA that we have right here at the 46K, right? So you can draw your 50 and 200 MAs on monthly, also on the weekly, and to see those levels, they'll act as resistance. Or do we go up towards the 44, 46 and then slowly toppy and then give up again, or maybe come test this pattern again, right? What do I mean by this on Bitcoin? I'll just share something. Just by looking at the chart, I can compare this to something which happens to be Tesla on the weekly. Why am I comparing Tesla with Bitcoin? Just to show you guys a little technical pattern that's possible, right? Something like this is possible where crypto just consolidates for a long time and it just goes where's the pattern? Where it might go sideways for some time, it'll hold, all right? That it holds, all right? The levels will be held. Like, it won't go down, up, a nice little grind up when the market stabilizes in a few months. maybe we see the huge squeeze at the end of the year. I have no idea. So something like this is possible on a crypto. All right, and back to this, and one stock that MSL nailed, well, LB, Zim. What a beautiful stock. I personally did not play this stock. I never looked into it, but I know it's very popular in my stock. Like we call, you guys caught this downside all the way from 10, 11, and you guys kept scaling out all the way near the top. Absolutely amazing earnings. They announced a dividend, special dividend, and protect. I think manager gains, manager profits, shipping stocks. I guess they're in play. They're going up, and so that's a great call. If you guys want to read more about this, I guess you guys can speak with LB. He knows more about this company, how exactly they operate and stuff. And I think this can continue maybe going higher if the shipping rates are high. I'll leave that to LB. He's an expert on Zim. And Tesla also, guys, on the weekly, is just holding on to the 50 MA. If we continue holding about this 50 MA and the market holds and stays strong, this can probably rally back towards the 900. But it's going to be a long while. I don't think we just get the huge rip all of a sudden, because 900 is very hard resistance. It can definitely go test 900. God knows what happens, but for now, the 50 MA Tesla has been respecting. It respected all day, all these weeks in 2021, and it respected back in 2020, and then it just consolidated. But 50 MA, if it breaks and we've closed underneath, that's the only time I would be worried about Tesla going down, which will be great for us because I do want to scoop some equity on it under $500, $600 levels. I think we'll get these levels then, right, if it does break. Right, then 500, 600 is not far. It will happen if we break the 50 MA on the weekly. Overall, if you guys are looking at the weekly charts, they're still bearish, right? For us to become fully bullish on, not bullish, but like expect a rally, if we close above the opening prices, right? The opening price plus add 1% to it, right? So sometimes people ask, how do you get the numbers? So let's say the opening price here was 29.08. I would like to add another 30 points on top, so 1% on top, right? Which gives us roughly 29.30. Now that will be a candle like this, which is a hanging man, which a lot of people got bulled off of, right? How many of you guys all remember? I'm not gonna say names, but like everyone was bullish on this candle. You guys were calling that bottoms, tops. You guys wanted to have market rip, and then, reality hit again. So don't fall in love with candles. Candles only give us a little indication, right? But overall, the structure, just look at gold, oil, which we've been mentioning for the last few weeks. And that will give you guys hints in the market what's going to happen. All right, and so SPX 4300, that's the level that I'm eyeing for my short play. Twitter had a lot of flow, but again, that flow I think was wrong. It gave up gains, but if the market rips and puts in the bottom, these are some of the names that I will be looking into. Twitter, Snap also great earnings, unable to hold the gains. And if we get a gift of Snap around I think $20, I will probably add equity on Snap. If we get $20, I think it's coming in the coming months. Who knows? Right, I don't think the market has put on the bottom just yet. We might get a green day, we might get a few green days, maybe we get a green week, I have no idea. But in the longer run, as much as I understand common sense fundamentals, in the coming 1, 2 months or 3 months, these things will come down, I think. Right? Or if they go up now, or maybe we stay bearish now. Next week is the first third quarter end, remember, right? 4 times a week we have a quad witching. Right, so next week we have FOMC quad witching is going to be a very volatile week. I personally think it's going to be volatile, right? So let's see how that works, and then obviously Russia, Ukraine just adds more fuel to the fire. ZOM, so let's go, Lords, you asked about this last time too, so ZOM. Okay, so these are one that you're at. Okay, it's a penny stock, so I see why you keep asking. Sorry, I don't know who you are, but because you're asking so much about this company, I think you're somebody that may have, don't mind my words, we're somebody that caught the bag right here. I mean, right? I mean, that's what I see. This company, this is a typical trend pattern with a lot of companies out there, right? The only thing I can say here is look into the company fundamentals, numbers, see what they're doing, and maybe you might get a better understanding. Sometimes the things squeeze on high volume, right? When there's some good news, then they sell it off. But here the company has been really quiet. There's not a lot of volume that's been coming in here. Here you can be buying maybe to bring your average down, or maybe wait if it goes lower. Right? There's a good chance that it can also go to 22 cents and all the way towards 8 cents. All right. So 8 cents, 22 cents, and then this level right here. These are the levels that you want to pay attention to, right? So 8, and then obviously 22, and current is 29, right? And then above 0.30 hold, you can see the increments of 5 cents holds, obviously, right? You need some more volume in this. Their earnings came out, pay attention, see what they did, and that will give you a better idea of the company, right? So you'll have to look at some fundamentals on the song. And well, that's pretty much it, guys. Personally, VIX above 27. That's one thing I do want to tell you guys over and over, not once but many times. VIX above 27, you don't buy calls. As simple as that. I mean, you can buy them for scalp, you can buy them for 1 day hold if you're really convinced, right? You'll make a lot of money. But VIX above 27, it is very dangerous to buy and hold calls in this market. So just be careful, because once everything crashes, then market doesn't do nothing. It holds, you lose premium both ways. All right, that's all I can say. VIX comes back to 21, 22. Market gives a better structure. It'll be a great time to buy some good calls on certain names. Right, that time will come. But very hard to predict overnight moves. If you hit it, it's nothing but a gamble. Unless you're looking at the world markets and you have a vast understanding, then yes, it makes more sense, right? But puts are still in play, I believe. And with this, UPS, one play that we did add yesterday, I'll just quickly go over it. Now we have some puts on this name. Expect some green days, guys. Obviously, nothing goes down right away, right? Expect some green days, right? We bought time on our puts in April. We did not buy them for this week or next week, right? Obviously not. So we have time until April. So we have time. So maybe when UPS goes towards 205 holds here, and then we just need that one good red day, a break of the 200 MA, which is very likely, to test the 189, and our puts are probably going to more than double triple. All right. But obviously, if UPS continues holding this at 200 MA on the daily, and if market gets bullish, runs, then of course they lose a bit of value. But that's trading, right? I mean, we're not going to nail all the plays, but as long as we're up net overall and we're playing the market great, that's what matters. Right position sizing is the key in trading. Position sizing is the key. Write that down. All right. And we nail shorts across the market, and now we wait for 1-2 days to see what happens. Live voice chat. We'll do some amazing scalps. See you guys back in the chat.